Snow White, Disney's first fully animated feature film. Actually, the first fully animated feature film. And now, almost 100 years later, Disney just released the live-action remake of this movie. I mean, I guess that kind of defeats the point, but how does it hold up? Let's talk about it. First off, visually, the movie looks good. I mean, it's what you'd expect from a professional production with Disney's budget, but nothing about it is particularly stunning. Now, let's talk CGI. The dwarves, absolutely horrible. What is this? They look weightless, soulless, and just uncanny. I mean, Dopey looks like the main character from Polar Express. It's not a compliment. The rest of the film is fine. Sets, costumes, all what you'd expect from a Snow White movie. Now, how about the story? I never actually saw the original, but from what I know, this movie doesn't seem to change too much. It's hitting all the right beats that I do know happen. If anything, it kind of just assumes you already know the story. You see her lay across their beds with their names on them, and it's kind of like you're just waiting for them to meet each other. Now, let's talk about Snow White as a character. At first, I thought she was just a positive feminine character. You know, it didn't really give off the whole girl boss vibe. It was kind of just like, she's feminine, she's not too weak, she's not too over the top feminist like they were making it seem originally. Just a positive feminine character. Then, yeah, the girl boss element started showing. She was dumb enough to get tricked into the woods, almost getting killed by the knight, and then only escapes because he lets her escape. And then when she does escape, she runs into the woods and almost like 5 times. But all of a sudden, she's such a genius that she can outsmart all of the knights and the queen's guards. And then she's there to break up all the arguments with the dwarves and with the bandits. And not only is she shown to be smarter than the knights and the guards, but she's also smarter than the bandits, because rather than all like 7 of them being able to protect her, she comes back and saves all of them. So I guess she's just smarter than everyone. Then when the dwarves get into it with each other, she's there to break it up. She teaches Dopey how to whistle, which leads to him learning how to talk. When the bandits and the dwarves get into it, she's there to break it up. It kind of got repetitive to see her be the group mom, but then also need to be saved by everybody, but then not need to be saved by everybody, but then needing to be saved by everybody. That said, she's still a good protagonist. The actress did well. Maybe they could have cast someone stronger, but she can act, she can sing, and she does bring energy to the role. Now, the supporting characters. The dwarves. Visually, come on, bro. The evil queen, it didn't really even give evil. Like, her motivations didn't feel evil. She was basically just Sharpay. She just sings and dances about being better than everybody else and wanting to be better than everybody else. That's pretty much it. The new characters, like the gang of bandits, some people say that they were originally supposed to be the dwarves, but then the backlash made them change it. But I couldn't help but notice the fact that Jonathan, the lead bandit, is basically just a bandit to replace the love interest so that he doesn't have to be a prince that comes and saves the day. But I mean, what's wrong with the prince coming and saving the day? I get it that they're trying to change it up, not be traditional, but you're remaking a story that is already made. Worst performance? Easily the Hi-Ho musical number. I'm pretty sure that's a hot take or a controversial one, but to me, I just didn't like it because I already don't like the dwarves. To me, it wasn't great. Speaking of music, the classic songs are here, but updated. They sound fine, but my biggest issue is that there is way too much pitch correction. Almost every vocal is so overprocessed, it doesn't even sound human. It's weird, and it kind of takes away from the charm. I don't know if it's because I'm a musician and I work with pitch correction that I can hear it so clearly. It just doesn't sound natural. As for the themes and tone, the setting feels fairy tale enough, but the modern girl boss vibe is definitely present. So who's this for? I think this was made for both kids and adults, but I don't see hardcore Disney fans loving it. They probably won't hate it, just won't really be impressed. I don't think this is going to be anybody's favorite movie. Who won't like it? Anyone hoping for a new Disney classic, because this movie is not that. There were 5 people in my theater, including me and the person I went with. The other 3 were a mother and her 2 daughters. No one laughed at any of the jokes except for one person, and that was at a serious emotional moment in the film. So, for the final verdict, biggest strengths, the casting and some of the cinematography. Biggest weaknesses, the CGI dwarves and the pitch correction. Would I recommend it? It's not bad, but it's also not a must-see. It does flesh out Snow White a bit more than the original, so that is a plus. Compared to other Disney remakes, this might actually be one of the better ones, but it still has that remake smell. Disney is improving, but they haven't quite nailed the formula yet. So, does this movie feel like a classic fairy tale, or does it try to be modern? For the most part, it keeps the fairy tale aesthetic, but the modern themes creep in, especially with how they write Snow White. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it also doesn't have that classic Disney magic. The biggest modern element is definitely the girl boss theme. Again, it's not as bad as some other remakes, but it's definitely noticeable. So who's the audience for this? Kids? Sure, they'll enjoy it. Adults? Maybe. Disney fans? They probably won't hate it, but they won't love it either. Will this be anyone's favorite movie? No, probably not. Compared to other Disney remakes, I'd say it's one of the better ones, but it still has that remake smell. Disney is improving, but they still don't have it fully figured out. One of the biggest pre-release controversies surrounding this film was the casting of a Latina actress as Snow White. The original 1937 animated film was based on the German fairy tale, and Snow White has traditionally been depicted as a fair-skinned princess with, well, Snow White skin. While some fans saw this casting as a refreshing update, others felt it was unnecessary, arguing that it ignored the character's original description. Ultimately, casting should always prioritize talent over strict adherence to source material, but when a character's defining trait is in their name, it's understandable why people had strong opinions on the change. That said, the real issue with the movie isn't the casting, it's the execution. Snow White's release was originally set for 2024, but Disney pushed it back an entire year, allegedly due to Hollywood strikes and the need for additional post-production work. However, many believe the real reason was the intense backlash surrounding the film, particularly criticism of the CGI dwarves, the modernized story changes, and the controversial statements from the lead actress. Disney likely wanted to distance the movie from bad press, hoping that time would soften the public's perception. I actually forgot about all the controversies until after the movie while doing research for this review. But in an era where audiences are more critical of remakes than ever, delaying a film doesn't necessarily mean it'll be better received. It just gives people more time to scrutinize it. Or maybe in this case, forget about it. Oh, by the way, me and YouTube think that you'll like this video, so click on it and see if we're right. But what do you think? Have you seen the movie? Are you going to see the movie? Do the controversies ruin it for you? Leave a comment and let me know and we can talk about it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and click that bell icon to make sure that you get notified every single time that I release a new video. And I'll see you in the next one.